everybody, welcome to my channel. I've done this video that many times. It's a pain in the butt. It will calm down my recorder. What I want to talk to you about is stamping. How many of you use your stamps for your scrapbooking? Like, I don't see much of it. I've seen some stamping here and there, but not much. Now, how I do my stamping is I get any material, especially old sheets, like, because they fray easy, or broadcloth, that frays easy, and I stamp on it. Now, I didn't dye it because I wanted my stamps to stand out. So stamp straight on fabric and I've sewn around it. But before I do that, I add bits of paper to it. And look, this now part of me will keep fraying. This is stamped on paper. Now, because you're stamped on paper, you put it on your material and you sew around. And you only dab the glue there because that's where you need it. And it just gives you that little bit better of a lift. And I'll show you what I mean shortly. These are stamped directly on the material. And with these, I like to hang them off my journal page. We'll use, for example, we'll use this. This is a journal I'm making. It's one of those flip outs, the Summit Studio ones. Now, I haven't done much to it because I want to do a little bit of this while I'm doing the showing you what to do. I use guest checks with this one, as you can see. I've done 9 pages, but you need 10 guest checks because you need, hang on a minute. If I can get it the right way, it'll help. So you need 10 guest checks because you need that one for the back. So, for example, and I know it's not going to go on this, but I just want to show you what I mean. So you just clip it in on your lace or wherever on your journal, and you've created interest. And because I haven't got a lace journal around me, it makes it really hard to do that. So, but I'm just showing you an example. So I'm making a guest check one, and I can't wait to complete this. I'm making 2 actually. One will be thinner. It'll be as thin as this. But again, like to create interest, you just hang your stamp tickets, because that's what they are, the stamp tickets, at the end of your journal. And unfortunately, I haven't got a journal sitting around. I have, but no frayy bits. So I can hang it off here, I suppose. I'll see if I can get a grip on it to show you what I mean. This is one of the ones I've got to show you. So what I did. So say it's hanging off there. Normally it'll hang better. It'll hang like that. Now, I've done these before. I've done them with 2s and 3s, and they look really great. And what I normally do is I lightly ink the edges, not inside the side of them. So I use any old sheet. Now, if I stamp on paper, then I can directly go in the machine and sew around it once I've glued. I only just glue the little bit because I want to be able to sew without an issue. I use that glue, so it's not bad. Just be careful when you first get this, because if you ever get the glitter glue, because as good as it is, you will find that it's very runny, but it dries clear. But I just put a little bit of glue there, and then I just sew around. I didn't sew that one. These ones I don't sew. There's a ticket. Again, that needs fraying. So I keep fraying at it. I watch TV and I just keep playing with them. I've done one with words. I done a ticket one. I done that one. That one. Another ticket one. And I'll show you the ones in my book. Now, when I stamp, I always use archival ink because it's permanent, it's waterproof. So if I was to spray that with tea, it won't go, you won't lose the colour. Okay, so that's one thing I'm going to show you. So I'll put that aside and I'll show you what I've done with my journal. Now this is that 12 signature journal. It's got 8 pages per signature. And I've used some of the stamped images on here. Now this lies completely flat too. I've still got to make the board for it. See this one? I've laid it down, but I didn't put something underneath it. You know what I mean? It's material. So what I was thinking of doing is actually attaching that there, and that's going to go better for me. And I'm only going to glue this part. I'm going to make sure you can see what I'm doing. So now it will stand out more. So this is what I've done with the journal today. I've done a lot of layers. Like I said, I've used stamps. See, it looks much better now that you can see that it's got the stitching. So it's got a lot of pages, lots of pages. So there's one of my stamped images. Now I'll keep fraying that. Now I've turned that into a clip. And basically all I did is sewn 2 cardstocks together and then attached it to my little pad I made. Isn't it cute? Now you can have these going any direction you want. You can even have it going that way. But because I've made it that way, I want it that way. And I can attach a journaling card to it. Oops. Excuse me. Oh, dropped the glue. Yeah, I can attach a journaling card to it. I can do anything now. Not that that's going there, because it's not. This is being done for here. I just haven't finished it. There's only a few more things to do on here, and then I'll do a tutorial on how I've done some of this stuff. And it's basically using what I've got. Book pages, coffee tea stained pages, lots of colour, you know, from magazines and books. So I don't always use digitals, even though I love digitals, as you know. And here I've used words. Now I sew around my words. Actually, they're not in that box. They're in this one. So as you can see, I'm collaging. So the words, where are they? Under here somewhere. So there, I've got all types of words sewn up. I've got even sayings. They just need fraying. Splendid. I've got love. Now, all these I cut from Tracy Fox's kit. These were fairly longish words, and I just cut into them and stitched them up. And there's a saying there. That still needs fraying. So I've still got heaps to do, but this is just showing you some ideas of how I utilise words, phrases, whatever it may be. But see how it frays? You can sit there, watch TV and fray. So that's that. Now, I really like how this journal's turned out. It's turned out really great. I need to make a board so you can write on it. It's huge. Created tags, and if you remember, I did these last week. When I got offline, I sewed all around them, and you notice it's cute. So it's basically doing those things. Those stamped images, I've used a few around the book. Here's one. The saying one, I actually cut them, I stamped them on paper, cut them into strips, and then what I did is I sewed around them. Like I just went that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, and glued them on my fabric. How cute is that? And then there it is again in a full thing. There's my envelope. Oh, it's not an envelope, it's tuck. There's my envelope next to it. And then there's a tuck there. Here's that saying there, and it's directly stamped on just fabric, and I just collaged a receipt there. There's a ticket there, and there's a stamp. So it goes that way, that way. I love that page. And then there's collaging again using materials that I can fray. Like I said, I will sit near the front of the TV and I'll fray all this. Using your words just makes a big difference. Making up tags, booklets, crazy paper colours. See that? That was created by doing this. I always have ink lying about. And what I do, I just let it sit for a bit and then I will hit the other page. And let it work in. And believe me, it's not going to stick together. And this mix is water and it's espresso, I think. Yeah, it is. Coffee espresso. So that's what I've been using a lot of when I want to add a little bit more of a colour to my page. Flip up that way. It's an air mailer. Laced it up and it's got a tuck there. Different collages I created. Just bits and pieces. And honestly, it was fun to do. This I want to change. I just haven't done that yet. Here I created, I used the stamped image. It was done on fabric. And then I sewed it with paper underneath it. I glued it down, just using art glitter glue or fabric glue will do the same thing. Got a tag in there. And that's stuck there. And then it's followed through with 3rd Street. See, that's why this does not blend in. But for now, it can stay till I decide what I actually really want there. I will more than likely make something like that so it goes in. But I don't know yet. See again, sewn in, and then I'll just fray it. because I love the bits and pieces that hang from my journal. And I've left lots of room for writing. So whoever buys this journal or whatever, they've got plenty of room. There's a lot of collaging. There's been lots of work done to this journal. Even the pages alone have been worked with. You just see different elements to the pages. Again, just using different collages and putting them together. And this book is basically about using what you've got. You've got pages, you've got dictionary pages, you've got all sorts of pages. Use them. It just creates a great journal. Look at that effect. And these were not oven dried. These, I've told you about the lady, her name's Ja, from Medieval Mirage. I followed her technique. There's gelling cards, a bit of layering. This is a lot of work, but worth it at the end result. You know, the pages look brilliant. Another